We have another NHL trade to discuss, this time between the Minnesota Wild and the Carolina Hurricanes. We'll get into all the details coming up next. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. We review and discuss all 31 NHL teams, so if you're a huge hockey fan, consider subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. So as I mentioned off the top, we have yet another NHL trade to discuss here today, this time between the Minnesota Wild and the Carolina Hurricanes. Now they've swapped forwards here with Nino Neiderreiter going from the Wild over to the Hurricanes in exchange for center iceman Victor Rask. Most of the other trades we've seen recently have players on expiring contracts or shorter terms. Of course, both these guys have term on their contracts, and it's certainly an interesting swap here. The Carolina Hurricanes get a forward in Nino Neiderreiter, who's got 3 20-plus goal seasons under his belt. Certainly known as a pretty creative offensive forward through his career. Obviously, he originally got started with the New York Islanders, but it's been with the Minnesota Wild here for some time now, giving him a lot of good hockey over the years. Of course, his numbers this season are a little bit down. Neiderreiter currently has 23 points in 46 games this season, so his numbers are down a little bit, but hopefully a fresh start in Carolina, playing with a lot of their younger, exciting forwards, will certainly help rejuvenate his career and get things going. Of course, Minnesota over the years hasn't been the most offensive teams. They're usually a team that's more defensive-minded. So Neiderreiter's really done well here to put up some 20-goal seasons during his time with the Wild. Now, of course, the Wild are a team that went through a management change during the offseason, with Chuck Fletcher being let go and Paul Fenton coming in over from Nashville, taking over, and we've been waiting for him to kind of make his mark on the team and make some more substantial moves here for Minnesota. So we finally have something substantial for Minnesota here to make some changes to its roster. This wasn't quite the change we were looking for, though Neiderreiter's a name that's been mentioned in trade rumors in the past here, leading back even to last season once Paul Fenton was first hired. Between him and Charlie Coyle, there's certainly some of the more common names in the Minnesota roster that's been mentioned as potentially trade bait. So with Neiderreiter being moved, you can't help but wonder what might be next. Now, of course, with Neiderreiter going to Carolina, Victor Rask coming over to the Minnesota Wild from the Hurricanes. In Victor Rask, they get a player who's 1 year younger than Nino Neiderreiter. He makes a little bit less money, so the Wild free up a little bit of cap space to get a little bit younger. In my opinion, though, Neiderreiter really is the better player of the two and certainly has a much brighter future, in my opinion. Of course, Rask can play center, which is appealing. He's got pretty good size. He's had his moments. He's had some seasons between 15 to 20 goals. But really, overall, I do like this deal more so for the Carolina Hurricanes. So I'm going to say Carolina wins this deal. This is a pretty impressive trade by Don Waddell, in my opinion, to get a guy like Neiderreiter, only giving up Victor Rask. I really think this is a great deal for the Hurricanes. Obviously, the Hurricanes have all kinds of salary cap space, all kinds of roster room and contract room. So this makes a lot of sense for them to take on a player who can really help them move forward and maybe get them up into the playoffs. Now, it's not going to be easy. They're on the outside looking in. They got a battle on their hands here with a lot of teams kind of battling it out here for the last few spots in the Eastern Conference. The Hurricanes can get some solid goaltending and get a little bit more offense from help here from Neiderreiter. That very well might help to get them in. Now, of course, the Hurricanes have had a number of their own players mentioned in trade rumors, like Michael Furlan, who's a pending UFA, as well as some of their defensemen like Justin Falk, Dougie Hamilton, just to name a couple more. So it'll be interesting to see, by adding some more salary in the books, another forward who's fully capable here, if that might accelerate some additional moves here by the Hurricanes, and see if these other guys that have been speculated to be moved here for some time actually comes through and gets done. So we'll see. We've had a lot of trades here in the past few days, so hopefully that doesn't mean it's going to be too quiet here on trade deadline days. Trade deadline day is always a very exciting time in the NHL with lots of activity, lots to talk about. So hopefully too many of these deals don't get done ahead of time so that there's not as much to talk about then. But I still think we're going to see all kinds of activity around that time, especially with players that are on expiring contracts used as rental players, etc. So let me know, who do you think wins this trade? Personally, I'm going with Carolina, but I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments down below in the comment section, and we can continue the conversation. If you're new to the channel here, hope you consider subscribing. We cover all 31 NHL teams, and there is plenty of content here for all hockey fans to enjoy. So if you're new, hit that subscribe button, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up before you go. I'd appreciate it if you did. As always, thank you very much for watching, everybody. We will catch you next time.